So it's Monday, January 27th, 2014. My name is Ray Rigoglioso, and this is a recap from tonight's Gay Men of Wisdom discussion group. Our topic was gay men as models of manhood. So I opened the call with the following question. What does it mean to you to be a man? And here's what I heard. It's easier for us as gay men because we don't have to worry about being manly enough. This pressure exerts a tremendous influence on heterosexual men, and we are generally free of that we automatically serve as models of manhood simply by being ourselves, that our presence and being who we are causes people to feel differently. One man said that he struggles with the question because he finds the whole question of manhood to be negative, that he doesn't want to be the stereotype of the man who expresses his manhood through anger, power, or dominance. So this got us into this whole question about the masculine shadow versus the light side of masculinity. Now, the masculine shadow really being expressed in violence, aggression, domination, and control, but the light side of masculinity exhibiting energy such as holding a place of strength, being of service, that it can be embodying sacrifice, giving of ourselves, honoring and keeping our word. So there are really places, there are real strengths that masculinity bring to the world, the lighter side of masculinity, and the dark side is what has really driven our cultural concepts of what it means to be a man. Now with this, one man said that to be a man for him means to be loving, to open my heart. Another man said, I inhabit a man's body, but I am not. I am masculine. I hold two spirits. I hold love within me, both the masculine and the feminine. So the next question was, what is different about how we embody manhood? Really interesting responses. One man said, we don't have the same pressures as straight men. Again, this theme, that we can relate to women on ways that straight men don't really understand. That for gay men, masculinity means being sexually attractive, not being dominant over others. Fascinating. We are feminine at the same time. Depending on who we're with from moment to moment, we can move in and out of femininity and masculinity, and we don't feel that we have to play a role. There's a great freedom in doing that. We started to talk about this beautiful relationship between gay men and women, and that straight men look on it with wonder. That we define masculinity by sex, but we can also get lost in it. And we began to talk about the shadow aspects of gay male sexuality. Now, whereas there's a strong bond between gay men and straight women, or women in general, there also can be a shadow side of this too, that we can express just as much harsh misogyny as anyone, and that this can often be a result of our own discomfort with the feminine within ourselves, that when we don't honor the feminine in us, we don't honor it in anyone around us. So the next question I had was, well, what do we have to teach straight men about the feminine? Some of the answers were that our relationships to women are those of equals. They are non-sexual. We make friends. And straight men struggle with that. That we are a model for how straight men can be friends with women. And also our model of relationship with women can serve as a model for how gay men can be friends with each other as well. We can teach straight men that women are human beings. Imagine that. That if you're strong in yourself as a man, you don't have an issue if a woman happens to be in charge. And we as men, as gay men, we understand women, but we can also talk to men because we are men, and we are the bridge, and this serves a very valuable function in the world. Now, the next question was, what can we teach heterosexual men about being men? And some of the answers were, it's okay to feel. It's okay to cry. These are some of the things we teach. Someone else talked about how we manifest this type of attractiveness that starts from within, that we glow because we love ourselves, that we've done this work on ourselves. Now, whereas we may have a long ways to go, we have done that work on ourselves, and that manifests as a glow and it manifests as gay in the true sense of the word. And we also talked about how we, as gay men, are expanding notions of what it means to be a man. Now, someone talked about the different life stages that gay men, or that all men go through, from childhood to adolescence to adult to being the elder. And within all of these eras that we go through, gay men tend to continue to exhibit a childlike quality even into elderhood. And this is a fundamentally different energy. It's something that we do differently than straight men. So again, I ask this question: what can you teach heterosexual men about being men? Some other answers: that it's okay for straight men to see each other. It's okay to be who you are, and that it's okay to find strength in who you are. Really looking within. That it's okay to have feelings, that strength is not in not having feelings, but in facing and harnessing those feelings. Another man said, we can teach men about loving themselves because we have done so for ourselves. Now, one man acknowledged that this is a really difficult question. The question being, what can you teach heterosexual men about being men? Because he doesn't know a lot of heterosexual men who want to be his pupils. Because his experience of being with other straight men is being a victim of violence, being on guard. So I asked the question, what will it take for us as gay men to go from victims to being teachers? And one man said, well, we can make this shift by tapping into this place of forgiveness. This is a theme we talked about last time, that we can forgive others for doing things that weren't really in their nature, that weren't true to themselves. Another man talked about this, what can we teach men about being men, is that we can model manhood through healthy relationships, that it's okay to touch, it's okay to cry, and that younger generations we're seeing this whole shift in how younger people are seeing manhood, and this is really a cause for hope. And that we ended this call on this idea of this possibility that gay men or straight men can learn from gay men, and we can learn from straight men, that together we can create a new definition about what it means to be a man. So that was our discussion on Monday, January 27, 2014. Thanks for being with me.